And this is our second lesson online, our second video lesson. So it's about Unit 7, Women in Sports, page 70 of your book. And let's go. So in this lesson, you're going to learn more vocabulary about sports and practice your reading and listening skills. First of all, we're going to take a look at the words, and these words will help you understand the reading and the text better. Compete in cards. It's a very fancy outdoor activity. If you've never done it, I really recommend you doing it. So compete is in cards, or compete in any sport, is when you want to be the first. If you're competing with your friend, or maybe you're two of you, maybe you're three or more. Have a go at is to try something you've never done before and see if you can do it or not. So it can be a hobby or a sport that you want to start doing just now. So this is an expression that means to try something for the first time, have a go at. Support a club, as you can see, these are English supporters, the supporters of England football team, and it can be a supporter of any club, any team, be it football, any other sport, or maybe even just one athlete. Or you can support your class when they're playing sports. And this is the situation now, probably in most of the teenager situations, sitting at home eating chips and drinking soda. Now, why did I write the translation in Russian? Because with this word, the situation is the same in many other words in English that end with Asian, and the translation is the same in Russian. So, for example, example words are organization, situation, plantation, translation, and etc. etc. But of course, it's not. It doesn't work with all the words, but with most of the words, this is the situation. So this is a life hack for you to learn English words. Now, racing is a sport, as you can see in the picture, like it's Formula One, where different brands of different makes of cars uh, compete and race with the sport cars. Okay, now let's talk about these questions.
Track 3.
Sorry. Let's talk about these questions first, before we move on with the reading and listening. Sportsmen are often more famous than sportswomen. Why is this? Think about this question and the following two questions. Is it fair? And is the situation changing? Now, if you don't know what is fair, let me explain you like this. Let's say you and your friend give your teacher some homework, and you have the same mistakes, but the teacher gives A to you and A minus to your friend. So that's not fair when you have the same mistakes, but you have different marks. Now, this is about sports, a question about sports, because there are more men in sports, and men are more famous for the sports, and women are not. Why is this? Just think about these questions and think about the answer to these questions. Um, Tell your answer, and then move on with the. You can pause and speak out your answer, and then move on with the next slide. And it's about driving ambition, where Karen Lowy wants to be the fastest woman on four wheels. And we're going to listen and read her answers to an interview, the questions she asked, and then to do some exercises about it.
Track 3.3, Unit 7, Reading, Exercise 2. Driving ambition. Karen Lowe wants to be the fastest woman on four wheels.
How did you become interested in racing?
My dad used to race cars, and I watched him when I was younger. I loved the crowds and the atmosphere. I competed in karts when I was 9. Then I drove rally cars. This year, I'm going to have a go at Formula 3.
How popular is motor racing in the UK?
It's massive. The UK is a world centre for motor racing. There are 750 clubs in this country and 100,000 competitors.
Are most of those competitors men?
Not at all. There are more women competitors than you think, but you don't see them very often because there aren't a lot of women in Formula 1.
Why are there fewer women in Formula 1?
Not many women were interested in the past. Also, journalists, sponsors, and some drivers didn't support us. Now they say that it's good to have more women in the sport. I think the situation will change.
Will a woman win Formula 1 one day?
Yes, there will be a woman champion one day, definitely.
Is it easy to become a racing champion?
Not at all. Racing is really hard. Obviously, you have to be a great driver. Apart from that, you need a lot of money in this sport. Last year I was okay, but this year my sponsors aren't going to give me much money. I think I'll be okay, but I can never be certain.
So, what are your plans?
I'm not going to stop racing. My dad is my manager now, and he's going to contact more sponsors. I know that my family will always support me. They're my biggest supporters.
Now let's move on with the exercises. In exercise 2, you see the answers, the questions that the interviewer asks, and you have to match them with the answers in the text, the paragraphs, each of the paragraphs, to the following questions, 1 to 6. In exercise 3, you will have to also do it by yourself. You need to read the text again if you need to, and complete the sentences here with 1, 2, or 3 words. And in exercise 4, you need to complete these sentences with the words in blue. Now, we've already discussed and learned the meaning of those words, so I think it's going to be easy for you to understand it. For instance, the first one, let's do it together. Which football team do you support? Will be the correct word here. Support was the word in blue in the paragraph. Now, exercise 5 is going to be your homework. You will have to write the answers, type it on your computer or on a phone maybe, and send it to my email, or the best would be an email, so that I could see and check your writing. And that's basically it for today. And that's my email. If you have any questions, if you have done, after you finish your homework, just send it to my email. And if you have any questions, you can get my WhatsApp number from your classmates or your teachers, and text me your questions, and send me maybe your homework as well, if it's comfortable for you to do that through WhatsApp. Bye bye. That's it for now. See you next time.